The Drunyd of Dunry are the sixth tribe, the westerners of the Green Lands, the tribe farthest from the cradle of humanity. Following this metaphor, and since the fall of the Empire, most believe that humankind has finally reached adulthood in the West. The Drunyd are of average height and have mostly brown skin, with some reaching even darker tones farther south, where they have intermingled with the Masad for generations. Freckles are very common, and their eyes are green, grey, and blue. But if there is one physical trait that characterizes these people, it is their hair, or rather, their manes. Drunyd hair grows abundantly and quickly, mostly a vibrant red, with some brown strands here and there, and it is the pride of both men and women, who see it as a symbol of health, strength, and immense attractiveness. Depending on the region, the Drunyd adorn their hair with precious stones, ribbons, and brooches, or style it in intricate updos, braids, bands, and crests. But it is almost universally worn as long, wild manes that rival those of the lions of the plains. Long ago, the Drunyd united different noble houses and clans from the hills, the lake, and the forest into a single domain, Dunry, the Emerald Kingdom. Much of this history and of who the Drunyd are is explained by the one who unified these warring peoples, Artnin of the Silver Lake, patron of knights, hero of the Precursor Age. A king like a god, golden and sallow. According to legend, Artnin was a king of ancient times, when humankind still roamed the earth and tribes were forming. He descended from the north after facing great dangers with his brothers and helped them establish their respective kingdoms. But Artnin knew himself to be the heir to a divine mission and the ruler of a sacred yet unexplored land. He settled on the island of Caelon, building a castle of the same name that still watches over the Silver Lake, and where he received blessings and the favor of the Creator. He crossed the green hills of Dunry, destroying the demonic king of the Fomor, and traversed the fairy forest, where he defeated its dark queen. The chronicle recounts that with these mythical feats, the newly crowned king found it easy to defeat his human enemies or forge alliances with local clans, as exemplified by the story of his union with Princess Merivan, which cemented the bond between Drunyd and Masad. It is said that the king reigned for 1,000 years, after which he ascended to rest beside the Creator, and for another 1,000 years his descendants guarded his domain and his crown. But the Taolin were ruthless, and the West was a land they were unwilling to spare. With fearsome augmented soldiers, they destroyed the house of Artnin and divided Dunry into protectorates and provinces. The records of the mythical king's noble line were lost at the same time, and the Drunyd blamed the Taolin themselves for this loss, part of a covert operation to destabilize the political power of the green-clad nobles. Now that the empire has passed, the new Drunyd kings spent fortunes paying the Babylins to find any trace of their connection to the Artnin line, but the trail is difficult to follow. It is clear that the tribe adheres to the Artanist Usul. Like Makad the prophet, Artanin is a messianic figure for the Drunyd, who believe that the leadership of their faith should rest with the successors of the old king. Following this same logic, they recognize divine authority in other figures from the past and in some of the closest predecessors to the Emerald King, saints and miracle workers, but not recognized by the Orthodox Usul. This has created, at once, a close cultural bond with the Masad in the south, but also some tensions due to this theological disagreement. In this regard, while the southern tribe is renowned for emphasizing humanity's place in the world through the arts and sciences, the Drunyd do so more through exploration, conquest, and the subjugation of the elements as a reaffirmation of human dominion. They are a people descended from ancient explorers and heirs to a tradition of nobility and martial pride, which is why knights hold a privileged position, more so than in other tribes. We will discuss these soldiers of modern warfare later. As renowned tamers of nature, the Drunyd are famous for one more thing: dogs. Through selective breeding and other techniques, the Green tribe has created a lot of dog breeds oriented toward specific tasks, such as the Dan Pointer, the Armored Head Boxer, and the Kaelon Shepherd. The Drunyd admire the loyalty and strength of domesticated dogs, and see these breeds as another triumph of humankind. Many Westerners adopt dogs for life as inseparable companions, and working men of the Drunyd and other tribes consider them an extension and complement to their own skills. Being a dog trainer or breeder is a venerable profession within their community. The Drunyd are an adventurous tribe. Maps must be completed, great ships built, and banners planted atop the highest mountains. They recognize that the world is a wild place, filled with beasts, monsters, and calamities, and that humankind is the antithesis of this chaos. The Emerald tribe is primarily inspired by Celts and musketeers, with some elements of more modern or contemporary swordsmen, always striving to create a timeless feel. Their exploratory spirit is inherited from the accounts of 19th and 20th century travelers, while their myths draw inspiration from Arthurian tales and the folklore of the peoples of the British Isles. I made this choice because the term Celt is ambiguous for a significant portion of our history, and encompasses many groups, such as Gauls and Celtiberians, whose cultures hybridize extensively, transforming their symbols and blending them with those of other peoples. The same has happened with the Drunyd. Their past, the one they know, is the result of a story that has mutated over millennia, with demigods, knights, and dragons, lost and recovered and transformed into the identity that allows them to face the future.